Hey students, so what I'm going to be showing you today is how to create a jump article. One of our assignments is for, or one of the qualifications for this assignment is that you have one article that starts on one page and jumps to another. Usually a jump article is on the first page, and it will jump to, it'll say continue to read on page 2 or something like that, or continue on page 3. And so as you can see, this is actually a jump article. We have a little bit of space here, and then it's going to jump to this little space on my second page. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So I've already built in a couple text boxes here. Let me actually erase one of these. And I'm going to fill this with placeholder text. If you don't remember where that is, it's under type. And it says fill with placeholder text. And so that fills up this column. Now what I'm going to do is, if you take a column and you kind of smash it just a little bit, pull this little rectangular box up, you'll see this little plus button come up. And what that means is that there's content that's hidden under here that we can't see. Because you'll notice as I pull this down, that plus button goes away. So what I want to do is I want to say, well, I want that content that's hidden to actually be over here. Oops, not there, right here. And so it actually fills within that column. And you'll see now as I make this shorter, longer, it actually moves the text over there. So these two columns are linked to each other. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fill with placeholder text here. And similarly make this box smaller. Grab that plus button and then move over to page 2, where I'm going to put it right there in that column. And you'll see that we now have 3 columns linked together. I'm going to do the same thing for the 4th. And so as I write in this text, it's going to push this over here. And so now we have this nice, clean article that's working kind of in tandem with each other. So the last thing that you want to do is we want to fill up the rest of the space, right? And you want to start to make sure that you don't have any white space left. So I'm going to pull this as far down as I can, start to kind of tighten up the spacing in between here, make sure over here has the same thing. Make sure that we're using all the space that we have on our page. You might use your fill placeholder text to cap it off right there. And so now we know this is how much space that we have for an article. And what you can do is you can pull this text, say, into an application like a word counter or whatever, using Microsoft Word or using some website. And it might say that this is 300 words. Or 200 words, whatever. And so now we know that if we're going to bring in an article that we found online, or that we had someone write for us, or that we wrote ourselves, we know that we need about 200 words to fill this space. What this is good for is if someone gives us an article that's 300 words, we know that we need to kind of edit it down to 200 words to fit on our page. And so this is the big benefit of dummy layout, is we can figure out how much space we actually have to work with before we even start to do the writing. And that helps us from creating, coming up, if someone giving us a 1,000-word article that we have no space for, we don't have to actually do that work itself. So that's it.